नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome back to Ratnamala sessions. So, because this is December month, we will have some Gita shlokas for this month. Yesterday we celebrated Gita Jayanti. So, actually, this Ratnamala series we started last December only. Last December we had throughout the month 30 days we have been learning Gita shlokas, daily one shloka. So now later we stopped, then we took up Gita shlokas again, and later we also started learning some shlokas from other scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, then Bhagavatam, Brahma Samhita, Mukundamala Stotra, and other places. So now it is Gita Jayanti, and this Gita Jayanti month, December, we'll come back to Gita shlokas this month. So today we will take one shloka which many of you must be knowing, which is the peace formula from the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. We will recite this shloka and we will discuss the meaning of this shloka. First, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrudam Sarva Bhutanam Gnatva Mam Shanti Mruchati. Yes, Sudarshan.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gnatva Mam Shanti Mruchati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam.
Neelam Madas.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Yatva Mam Shanti Rachati. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Then Vrinda Matsusu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surdam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Rachati. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Naimisha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranama. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhritam Sarva Bhutanam Gnatva Mam Shantim Pruchati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranama.
Next.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrudam Sarva Bhutanam Natva Mam Shanti Mruchati. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gnatva Mam Shanti Rachati. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranama. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutana Gnatva Mam Shanti Rachati. Prabhuji, this is my favorite sloka.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Next, Hasini. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Sukritam Sarva Bhutanam ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranamam. Bhoktaram Ektatapasa Sarvaloka Maheshwara Sridham Sarvabhutanam Jnatvam Shanti Bhushyati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranamam.
Next.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam yatva mam shanti brichyati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shanti vrichyati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanyam yatva mam shanti brichyati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surudam sarvabhutanam jyatva mam santi vrichyati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranama. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhrudam sarvabhutanam gnatva mam shanti mruchyati. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti mrichyati.
Okay. Thank you everyone for your recitations. So this shloka doesn't need line by line recitation. Many already know. So idea is not to know something new every day, but to meditate on things that are never changeable. These are eternal truths. Let's meditate on them as frequently as possible. So let's see the meaning of this shloka and how we can apply this shloka in our lives. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gnatva mam shanti murichyati. Gnatva mam means we should know Krishna as how? Number one, bhokta, the enjoyer of yajna tapasam, all the sacrifices and austerities and every activity that we perform, the enjoyer of that activity is Krishna. He is sarvaloka maheshwaram. Ishvara means the proprietor, the controller. Maheshwara means the supreme proprietor of sarvaloka, all planets. He is not just Goloka Maheshwaram. We understand Krishna is the master of Goloka Vrindavan Dham. That does not mean Vaikuntha doesn't belong to him. That does not mean Bhuloka doesn't belong to him. He is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, not just Goloka Maheshwaram. He is the proprietor or the master of all his activities. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Although he is the enjoyer, although he is the proprietor, he is Suhrid, the greatest well-wisher of all living beings. Sarva Bhutanam. Here Bhutanam refers to living beings. Sarva means all. Shantim Ruchyati. If you know Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer, supreme proprietor, and supreme well-wisher, then you will attain peace. Actually, peace is not the aim. So we are supposed to attain the supreme pleasure of satisfying Krishna, serving Krishna with love. So ultimately, a devotee is looking forward for service on a spiritual platform that gives supreme spiritual pleasure, and devotee is not looking for some peace on a material platform. Okay, here peace indicates supreme spiritual joy, supreme spiritual pleasure that is available in Krishna's seva. Okay, in loving Krishna, in serving Krishna. Okay, the meaning is clear, right? Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, Krishna is the supreme proprietor, Krishna is the supreme well-wisher. Now, let us go a little deeper into this meaning. What is the supreme enjoyer? Why Krishna is the enjoyer? I perform some activity, and why Krishna has to be the enjoyer? He says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka mahesh. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. Whatever yajnas and tapasas or whatever activities that you perform, I am the enjoyer. Why should he enjoy? I should be the enjoying, right? I'm also working for it. I should also enjoy. The point is that we are all amshas of Krishna. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, what did he say? Mamaivamsho jiva loki jiva bhutaha sanatanaha. So Krishna is the supreme personality, and all other persons are parts of Krishna, parts and parcels of Krishna, amshas of Krishna. And amshas enjoyment is in the enjoyment of the overall complete whole. So now there is this body, which is complete whole. Okay. So the body enjoys, say, food. So the body is enjoying some food or some rest. For example, my body is tired, whole day working hard, and I need to park my body. A car continuously cannot run. Car should be parked for some time. Similarly, body also cannot function 24 hours day by day. So body also needs some rest, some 6 hours, 7 hours, whatever time. So when you park your body and rest, all the limbs of the body are already automatically resting. So my hands get rest, my legs get rest, my neck gets rest, my eyes get rest. Constantly I'm watching computer, eyes become tired. If you need some rest for eyes, you need to make the body park, right? Just go and sleep there. So when your body is resting, all the limbs of the body are rejuvenated. They become fresh, okay, ready for next action after a sound sleep of 6-7 hours. So say this hand is a part of my body. This finger is a little part of my hand, amsha of my body. So we are also amshas of Krishna. Krishna is the complete whole. All the living beings are amshas of that complete whole, Krishna. So when Krishna is satisfied, when Krishna is enjoying, automatically we enjoy. Our enjoyment is dependent on Krishna's enjoyment. Our satisfaction is dependent on Krishna's satisfaction. As you know, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktira dhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So by performing unmotivated and uninterrupted bhakti unto Krishna, yayatma suprasidati, my atma, my soul is completely satisfied. Complete satisfaction of the soul is possible by serving the Supreme Soul, Krishna, isn't it? So if the soul tries to find enjoyment separate from Krishna, disconnected from Krishna, independent of Krishna, there is no enjoyment. If my finger tries to find enjoyment separate from the body, say the entire body is not resting, working, and the finger says, I need rest, and finger gets disconnected from the body and goes and sleeps on the bed, puts on AC. How long the finger will survive? There's a big tree, there are so many leaves. The leaves are nourished if you water the root. But if the leaf thinks that, no, I will not be sitting on the tree, all the water is going to the root only, I also want that water, and the leaf or branch will get disconnected from the tree and fall in a lake. So much water is there. But will that branch or will that leaf will be able to enjoy that water? That enjoyment is connected to the root. If the root is watered, automatically the leaves and the branches and the twigs of entire tree are satisfied. They enjoy. So first identify yourself as a servant of Krishna, as a part of Krishna, as a child of God. If you have that spiritual identity, naturally we will understand that my enjoyment lies in Krishna's enjoyment. If Krishna enjoys, I will enjoy. Because the bonding is love. Right? When there is loving bonding, that deep relationship between the Lord and the devotees, then naturally devotees find their pleasure in Krishna's pleasure. But when that bonding of love is not there, bhakti is not there, people want to enjoy separate from Krishna, independent of Krishna. Krishna, your enjoyment separate, my enjoyment is separate. I enjoy my own food, my own senses, my own sense gratification, my own accomplishments, my own name, fame, prestige. In making famous, in making Krishna famous, devotee may become famous. In feeding Krishna, devotee's heart may be satisfied, devotee's belly may be satisfied. You feed Krishna, he will give you prasadam, you eat that, then you will also be satisfied. But if one wants to eat and he eats without offering to Krishna, what is that person called? In Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter, Stena evahi, he's a thief. You got all the food and food grains from Krishna's grace, you don't offer him, and then you eat without offering him, then what happens? We are like eating sin, or we are, Krishna says, that such a person is called stena, no gratitude. So our enjoyment lies in Krishna's enjoyment. When Krishna said, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam, I am the enjoyer of all your sacrifices, it's not like a dictatorship. It's not like that he's suppressing or oppressing us. You make me enjoy. I will enjoy. Then your enjoyment is not the primary thing. I am the enjoyer of all your activities. It seems really too much for an average person to handle it. So why, when Krishna says, I am the enjoyer, you are not the enjoyer, is it that Krishna is depriving us of enjoyment? He's informing us, very kindly he's informing us that your enjoyment actually lies in my enjoyment. If you please me, you will automatically be pleased. If the person is decorated nicely with ornaments and cosmetics, the reflection of the person automatically becomes beautiful. But if you start decorating the reflection, you go in front of a mirror and you start putting all the cosmetics on the mirror, put tilak to the mirror. You didn't put tilak, you have put the tilak to the mirror, right? So that does not mean the person has tilak. You put cosmetics and ornaments and necklaces, everything to the mirror, the person will not become beautiful, right? So, and how long the mirror can hold all these cosmetics and all? So if you put the cosmetics and everything on the person, the reflection automatically becomes beautiful. So Krishna is the supreme person, original person. We are his small reflections, right? We will become beautiful. We will become satisfied. We will enjoy when he enjoys, when he is satisfied. Parts, the fingers, nourishment or strength is dependent on the body's strength. If entire body is weak, one little finger is very strong, what's the point? If one leaf is green, entire tree is not green, starving, what's the point? The leaf will not remain green for a longer time. So the leaf's nourishment is dependent on tree's nourishment. We have to water the tree. The body's nourishment is dependent on belly's nourishment. You have to feed the stomach. You can't eat idli through the eyes or ears. You can't put sambar on the hands or legs. You have to put everything in the mouth. It should supply to belly, and all the bodily limbs are nourished. So our enjoyment is dependent on Krishna's enjoyment. Are you convinced Krishna is the supreme enjoyer? No. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. We should be convinced about it. Otherwise we'll think, why I should always work for his enjoyment? I also need enjoyment. No, your enjoyment lies in his enjoyment. He is the supreme enjoyer, and you will automatically enjoy while you are making him enjoy. If you try to enjoy separate from Krishna, independent of Krishna, there is no enjoyment, there is suffering. We only imagine enjoyment, but that is suffering, not enjoyment. In the conditioned state, an average person considers suffering to be enjoyment. That is most unfortunate. You take black in your hand and you think it is white. It's illusion. You are holding black color and you are thinking it is white color. Similarly, you are holding suffering in your hands, in your hearts, and you are thinking it is enjoyment. But real enjoyment is in making Krishna enjoy. He is a supreme enjoyer. And our dharma, eternal dharma, is to satisfy Krishna. Krishna is not only the supreme enjoyer, but he is the supreme source of enjoyment. He gives us enjoyment. He gives us the supreme spiritual bliss of serving him. So service to Krishna is bliss, is spiritual bliss, eternal bliss, not material bliss. We may get some material pleasure by doing some material activities, but the supreme spiritual pleasure we will get only by serving Krishna. Okay, that is about supreme enjoyer. Water the root, I gave this example. Feed the stomach, I gave this example. Second point of the shloka. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is the supreme proprietor. So you may have a property of 10 acres land in so and so place, say Bangalore or Hyderabad or Madras or America. You may have so much land there. You may have some buildings there, say 14-story building or 40-story building. You may have some buildings. They are there in the name, your name. You have legal documents ready. They are all pakka. There is no issues there. So, but how long can you be the proprietor of that property? You may have a house and a car and a bungalow and some land, agriculture land on your name, but how long can you be the proprietor? You can't be the proprietor forever. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, one lifetime. So once the person leaves the body, the proprietorship is killed there. Body dies, proprietorship also dies. Next life again he comes as a dog, for example. You know the story of Kailash? Kailash has made very nice, beautiful building, home for himself, and he died thinking of the home. And he has taken birth as a dog in front of the home. As dog, can he claim proprietorship over that home? No, the people who are living in the home, who are his own descendants, his own children and grandchildren, they are throwing him some chapati and some rice, and the dog is eating and then guarding. This is my house. I have made this house with hard-earned money. When? In the past life. He is thinking he is the proprietor of the house, even now also, in this life also. Narada Muni came and told, Kailash, I told you I'll give you some spiritual instructions. He did not accept in human life. No problem. Even in dog life, he can accept. Please come. And he said, no, my children and grandchildren are not taking care of this home properly. So I will sit here and guard this house as a dog. He's continuing like that. After some time, Narada Muni again came. Then dog was not there. Dog died. There was a snake. Kailash became a snake. And Kailash snake is guarding the fields of his children. So I have earned this field so much. This is my property. When? In the last to last life. This is my property 3 lifetimes back. And these people are not taking care of this property. Some people are coming and stealing all the vegetables and grains here. I am guarding here as a snake. Narada Muni said, don't worry. This is not your property anymore. You have changed bodies. You please come with me. I will show you a spiritual path. I will take you to Vaikuntha. Then he says, no, this is my property. I have to protect this property. All these are my children and grandchildren. Then Narada Muni said, he clapped. Then all the children and grandchildren of Kailash came out of the home. And Narada Muni said, here is a snake, spoiling your fields. Okay. Then these people took sticks and then started beating the snake, who is Kailash, the proprietor. The proprietor of the fields, the proprietor of the home, the proprietor of the land, the ancestor, the father of all these descendants is being beaten up by his own descendants. Then Kailash said, Narada Muni will come with you to Vaikuntha. So the property that we have in this world is not our property. It is Krishna's property. Sometimes some property may be in our name. We are caretakers of that property. Krishna is the supreme proprietor. We are subordinate proprietors. We are temporary proprietors. Actually, we are caretakers of Krishna's property. As long as that property is in our name, we should protect it nicely, right? Okay, I'm not the proprietor and you just throw the land documents after the class. Okay, I'm detached. We don't have to do all that. Protect the property as long as it is under your care. Don't identify yourself as the proprietor. Having possessions is not bad. Being possessive, being puffed up, being proud of one's possessions is what is bad. It's unfavorable to bhakti. So Mother Earth is thinking, many people came, descended on this planet, not descended, took birth on this planet in different species. Especially human beings have the tendency to have this, territory mentality. Okay, this is my territory. This is my land. Have you seen? Like to protect the property, they put some, at the boundary, they keep some iron wires, which are very sharp. I forgot the exact name. Okay. Means in this property, no one should come. There may be some thorn bushes there. Anyone who comes, who even glances towards the side, they should be pierced by thorns. They should be pierced by this iron, sharp iron strings. So sometimes people may even put some current also in that iron strings, right? Barbed wire, correct. So like that, there's a lot of attachment to the property. Yes, you can protect it, but don't identify yourself as the proprietor. That property is meant to worship Krishna. One may have some land. In that land, he keeps one Krishna's deity and start worshipping. He may grow some vegetables or flowers or fruits, then offer them to Krishna and then accept it as his prasadam, distribute it to 10 people. So this is how great kings have enjoyed their properties, by serving the supreme enjoyer Krishna. People like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, all these great devotees, they have a lot of property. Okay, not just 1 acre land or 2 acres land or 10 acres land and a few buildings. The entire land, entire Bhumi is ruled by them. In that sense, they are Bhupatis, Bhumi Devas, but they are not attached to the Bhumi. Bhumi Deva, Bhumi Mata, Bhumata is just looking at all these people, so-called proprietors, and then laughing. And this fellow came and he said, this land is mine, this Bhumi is mine. This is my Bhumi, he said. And after some time, someone else came and said the same thing. After 20 years, that Bhumi went to someone's name. This is my property, he says. He protects it. And after some time, someone else will say, he's my proprietor. How many millions and trillions of proprietors Bhumi Mata has seen? So Bhudevi has seen so many people claiming proprietorship over her. But she belongs to whom? Krishna, Vishnu, Varahadev, to be more specific. Varahadev lifted this entire Bhumi planet from Garbhodaka ocean and kept her in her position. So she is the consort of Varahadev. She belongs to Varahadev. She is Varahadev's property, and so many people are coming. So many mini Hiranyakashipus or Hiranyakshas are coming and claiming this Bhumi is mine, this Bhumi is mine, this Bhumi is mine. And Bhumi is laughing at them, sometimes crying at them, pitying them. You're getting? So land belongs to Krishna. Bhumi belongs to the Lord. And we may stay in some Bhumi for some time, but that Bhumi is not us, ours. We are not the proprietors. We are caretakers. Krishna is the supreme proprietor. And not only Bhumi, every loka, Svargaloka belongs to him. Matala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Taladala, Patala, all lokas belong to him. Bhuloka, Bhavarloka, Savarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, all lokas, upper 7 lokas, lower 7 lokas, all 14 planetary systems in this entire universe belong to Krishna. He is the supreme proprietor. He is the Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Not only in this universe, there are millions and trillions of such universes. All of them belong to Krishna only. And that is material world, which is only 1/4 of the entire creation. 3/4 is spiritual world. There are unlimited Vaikuntha planets. Krishna is the proprietor of all those planets also. Krishna is the supreme proprietor of all material and spiritual planets that are existent, not for 10 years or 20 years. Since time immemorial and for the rest of eternity. Who am I? Insignificant. So we should not attribute too much of self-importance to ourselves. Better identify Krishna as the VIP, very important person. I am just a small servant of Krishna. So he is the supreme proprietor. I hope this is clear. Indra thought like that. I am the proprietor of Svargaloka. And Krishna said, you are nothing. You are proprietor of nothing. Once one Manvantara is over, second Indra will come. Indra's post itself is temporary. Someone else will come and occupy Indra's post. Within one day of Brahma, 14 people occupy Indra's post. If Indra's post is so temporary, what is about our post, our property? So we should not think ourselves as proprietors. Krishna created the world and the world belongs to him. So can we really enjoy or renounce this world? Some people say, okay, property doesn't belong to me, I renounce it. Who are you to renounce? You can renounce things that belong to you. If nothing belongs to you, what can you renounce? Even our renunciation also is not actually renunciation. Okay, this bungalow was mine, I have renounced that bungalow. Bungalow was never yours. Okay, this land was never yours. What is ours? What is our property? Our ahankar. False ego is the property. Renunciation is renunciation of false ego. The real spirit of renunciation is to renounce that sense of identity that I am the proprietor, I am the enjoyer. Don't renounce the property and say that I am renunciant. Renounce your identification as a proprietor and then say that you are a renunciant. Don't identify yourself as a proprietor. Although you are acting as a proprietor, you are not identifying yourself as proprietor, then you are a renunciant. Although you have given up all the property, but if you think, I have given up the property, I am a renunciant, then you are not a renunciant. Krishna doesn't see whether you are in order of renunciation or not. Krishna sees whether you have spirit of renunciation or not. He sees renounced spirit. So we cannot renounce anything, we cannot own anything. Nothing belongs to us. So we enjoy when we serve to give him enjoyment. So we renounce when he changes our service. What is the spirit of renunciation or detachment? Krishna gives us some seva. After some time, he changes our seva. he gives that seva to someone, be renounced. Okay, that is renunciation. So because Krishna extracts different services from his devotees, as parts and parcels of Krishna, we are supposed to serve Krishna, isn't it? Sometimes we do some seva, another time we do some other seva, some other time we do some other seva. Seva keeps changing, but the principle of service will remain. So this hand is a part of my body. This hand is doing so many services. Hand has to serve the whole body. Sometimes the hand may be engaged in one service. Sometimes the hand may be engaged in some other service. Say I'm feeling cold. The hand is supposed to pick up my shawl and then put on my body to cover my body. That's service. Sometimes I'm feeling hot. I just have to remove and keep it there. The hands are given the service of putting shawl on the body and removing the shawl on the body. So hands should not be attached to one flavor of service only. Whatever the hands are supposed to do to serve the body, the hands are supposed to do. Okay. Similarly, devotee also may render some particular service to Krishna, and after some time, Krishna may change his service. We should be very happy. Okay. So we should be detached. So we should not be attached to the nature of service. We should be attached to the principle of service. Next, supreme well-wisher. So Krishna is our supreme well-wisher, supreme friend. He never gives up his love for us. We may have so many friends and family members. Are they aware of everything that is happening with us? Or do they completely know our hearts? So how can they be friends? We have friends and family members, and not everyone is having the ability to help us. Not everyone has the intention to help us. Not everyone is aware of what kind of help we need. So when that awareness, ability, and intention are not there, how can someone be called as friend? We discussed in Gajendra episode, Madrak Prapanna Pasupasha Vimokshanaya. Krishna has the intention to help us. Krishna has the ability to help us, and Krishna is aware of our situation. Only he can help us. That's why he is supreme well-wisher. Only he can save. We can't save. And we can always access Krishna through prayer. Krishna, he is Sarvaloka Maheshwara, the proprietor sitting somewhere in the spiritual world. How am I supposed to access him? We may think like that, but we can access him. We have mobile phones with saved contacts. We may have some VIPs also. We have a big problem, you contact big VIP. Oh, I'm having this problem, please help me. But we have the greatest VIP. His number is stored in our phone. Whether we store it or not, it is there. So you can call him, not by calling him, but by chanting his names. But by calling him through bead bag, calling him through prayer, he's accessible. And he can simultaneously make himself available to multiple persons. Now you are contacting a VIP, he's on another call, he cannot pick up your call, isn't it? Phone engaged. His phone is engaged, and he will not call back also because he's busy somewhere. But Krishna is not like that. His phone is never engaged because he is always engaged in addressing to the needs of everybody. He's attentive to address your needs, and whenever you want to contact him, he's available. He is individually, personally available to every single individual. So he is never busy or his phone is never engaged. We can always contact him through our prayer, through our chanting. Okay, he is Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, and he is eager to help. Sometimes you may call a VIP and say, I want this so and so help. He may not be willing to help. He may not be eager to help. He may not have the capacity to help. But here is Krishna who is always willing to help us, if only we contact him. That willingness also makes Krishna the supreme well-wisher. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. Many people in this world may think that I am the supreme well-wisher. God has made them beggars and I'm feeding them food. Who is better, me or God? Some people, some kind of philanthropists may have this kind of identity. Not everyone. There may be some people who think themselves as replacements of God. God made them beggars and I am feeding them. So it's good to feed beggars, but don't think yourself God. Do it on behalf of God. Then you can be a part of Krishna's well-wishing nature. You can represent Krishna's well-wishing nature. Identify yourself as an instrument in Krishna's hands and then serve others. If you think that I'm not an instrument, I'm independent of Krishna, I can independently serve him, then how long? So one can become rich, one can become poor. So that richness and poverty-stricken conditions are temporary, right? One should not over identify oneself with that. So I think we have discussed so many things. So basically, this is the peace formula. One can attain perfect inner peace by Krishna consciousness, identifying Krishna as enjoyer, proprietor, master. I think it's a very long class. I'm very sorry for that. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Happy Gita Jayanti to everyone. Okay, some final recitations. Chinmayi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Priyansh.
Yes, Prabhuji. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yashoda.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु भोक्तारं यज्ञ तपसां सर्वलोका महेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिं ऋच्छति हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shantim richati.
Yes.
Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shantim richati. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Bhakti Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु भोक्तारं यज्ञ तपसां सर्वलोका महेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी दंडवत प्रणाम भोक्ताराम यज्ञ तपसाम सर्वलोका महेश्वरम सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति
हरे कृष्ण दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु मैं विशाखपट्टनम प्रभु
जी दंडवत प्रणाम भोक्ताराम यज्ञ तपसां सर्वलोका महेश्वरं शुद्धं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
भोक्तारं यज्ञ तपसां सर्वलोका महेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां